Because when your bank gets you, banking just feels better. Citizens Bank. Bank where you belong. Learn more at citizensbankwi.bank/belong. Citizens Bank is member FDIC.
Hey, it's Rich Eisen. You're listening to 94.5 ESPN WKTI and WKTI HD Milwaukee.
A locally owned Good Karma brand station. It's time for the best 60 minutes of your life. This is the Homer Hour, broadcasting live from the Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All studio at the Avenue in downtown Milwaukee. Alongside former Packer Brian Balaga. Here's Emmy Award winner Homer.
I better get into this early because I'm not on the show. The Brian Balaga Homer Hour, which will have Brian Balaga and Jason Woolley from the start. I had to come in early. This is how tough this job is. I had to come in early to set up my cot so I can rest. Normally, I have a commercial break to do that in. They're going right from the start, Jason Woolley and Brian Balaga. I got to have the cot ready to go. And then Fat Jack is making a special Thursday appearance at the end of the show because they have a game tonight, and I wanted a special NFL edition for everybody before the game is played. So Fat Jack will be on in the last portion of the show. I'm not sure how long I'm going to be on, but I did check to see if I get paid the same amount, and I do. So starting the show is Brian Balaga. By the way, you're way too soft, and not soft. You're not soft. You're too nice. Yeah, they need to beat Cincinnati. There needs to be more in that game than just winning at the last minute.
Well, I mean, I hope they don't win at the last minute. That's not. I mean, that's. I don't.
If they are what we think they are, we got to see some of that. Not the whole game, but some. I want you after the game to go, yeah, that's the Packers.
Yeah, I mean, listen, I don't think a last second win is like I don't think that's a good thing. Listen, will I be happy if they win? Yeah, sure. I mean, yeah, we're gonna walk away and say that's a good thing that they won. But a last second win isn't. I mean, against the Bengals isn't going to be something that we're going to write home about.
Right. You better be stoked. I'm hoping you're stoked again about the Packers after this. That's my standard. But you go ahead now. You're the nice guy. Introduce Jason Wilde. The cot is ready.
Oh, Jason, good. I didn't know you were on, Jason. So good evening, man. How are you?
I'm great. Yeah, you guys have been kind enough to accommodate the JV volleyball schedule, so I appreciate that a ton. And sorry to cut into your pleasantries with our crazy Uncle Homer.
We'll accommodate you anytime, so that's not a problem. But clearly, there's a couple injury issues that popped up. Can you let me know? Because I just found out on KBN what those were, and I didn't really know. So can you update me on those and what's happening there and what the severity of those are?
Yeah, so it's interesting because it turns out kickers are wired pretty much the same way as offensive linemen and everybody else. They always say they're going to play. And so Brandon McManus has a right quadriceps injury. He is a right-footed kicker, so that is his kicking leg. And so that's a concern. Now, Matt LaFleur termed it a major concern, and Brandon McManus said, well, I don't have the same thesaurus or encyclopedia when it comes to words for injuries. He plans on kicking on Sunday. At the same time, they are bringing in Greg Joseph and another guy in for tryouts tomorrow, so they have some alternative options. We talked to Rich Bisaccia, and thanks to this injury, my question to him about how he said during the offseason that he felt like he failed Matt LaFleur at times during his first 3 years, and that was a motivator for him. That I thought was going to get a lot more attention, but not when we're not sure if the kicker is going to be able to go. His explanation is that they're kind of taking a wait-and-see approach with McManus. They have to figure out whether or not they're going to kick him tomorrow to see how it goes. My favorite thing from McManus, beyond the LaFleur has a different thesaurus than I do, was when he said, it doesn't hurt when I walk, and it doesn't hurt when I run. It only hurts when I kick. Well,
Yeah.
That's
Well,
kind of an important piece of the equation, bro.
yeah.
Now, I would add that there are some cheat codes here, right? Like, first of all, if he were to have a Zach Tom type situation where he is active and he does kick and then he aggravates it and he can't continue, Daniel Whelan has done some kicking. He did some kicking in college. He has kicked off in an NFL game before, so he's capable of that as well. Apparently, that is it's a different use of your groin muscle if you kick off versus punting. So they would like to not have him kick off if they can avoid it, but it seems to me that would be where the greatest strain would be for a guy with a quadriceps injury. So I would assume that would have to be the case. Or one of the guys they're bringing in is Greg Joseph, who, unlike Brian Bulaga in my interviews with him, he would always refer to himself in the third person a lot. Look, Greg Joseph's got to worry about Greg Joseph. And I cannot say that any of the 10 years that I covered you ever said, hey, Brian Bulaga's got to focus on Brian Bulaga. So he's a little bit of a different cat. And look, he actually had the year that they decided to not keep him and not keep Anders Carlson, and they went with Braden Narveson, they probably would have been better off, obviously, with Greg Joseph. But so he's one of the guys that they have coming in tomorrow. So look, right now it's very fluid. Maybe he kicks. Maybe they have a second kicker on the roster. When he was asked about Mark McNamee, their Irish kicker IPP player, he said he's still a work in progress, which was a kind way of saying we ain't elevating a guy from Ireland to kick in an NFL game that counts when he was 3 for 5 in the games that didn't count this preseason. So that's all the stuff that's kind of on their plate there. And then I'm still not convinced that they're going to have, Zach Tom and Aaron Banks or one or the other or both. I don't get the feeling that it's a clear-cut kind of slam dunk that those guys are one of them or both of them is going to be ready to go. It may very well be the case, but I think they've got more to prove before they're going to get the go-ahead.
Yeah. What did any of the defensive guys say about the challenge of seeing Flacco for a second time and him being familiar with the defense? I understand that. Obviously, Cincinnati's a different group. They do have some better playmakers than Cincinnati offensively. Than Cleveland offensively. But just seeing a quarterback twice, it's like seeing a division opponent twice, right? And Flacco's a veteran quarterback. So what did they have to say about seeing him twice in such a short span, too, right? It's pretty quick turnaround seeing him again.
Yeah, there's no question it's wild. And they all said the same thing. Like, I've never seen this before. I've never had this happen before. So, and look, it is and it isn't like a division thing, right? Because, you see, like one of the players said, hey, we see Jared Goff twice a year. Yeah, with all the same guys around him.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Running the same offense that he always runs. That is not going to be the case here. This is going to be look, I'm not saying that Jerry Jeudy and David Njoku are not good, but they ain't Jamar Chase and T. Higgins good. That's for sure. So suddenly, whatever they saw when they watched tape of and then saw in person Joe Flacco, he's going to be a different Joe Flacco. Like, he's going to be the same guy, but the weaponry he's going to have around him is going to be vastly different. And that creates a totally different scenario. Now, you could counter, and rightfully so, by saying, he's also going to have like 3 practices in his new offense. And that's true. But the dude's in his 18th year. Like, he's seen it all. So I'm not looking at him going, this guy's going to be – this isn't like they're – and no offense, because Sean Clifford is a really good dude, and I really like him. But they're not going with Sean Clifford. Like, this is a guy that's won a Super Bowl. So he's not the same player he was when he did that with Baltimore, but the guy can play. And what I think he does well are the things that he needs to do well with this group. He gets the ball out of his hand quickly, which he needs to do because A, he's not mobile, and B, their offensive line isn't great. He can throw the ball downfield. If he does get time, he's a pretty good downfield thrower. I would think that would be valuable when you have Jamar Chase and T. Higgins at your disposal. So, it's not like they brought in, Tom Brady in his prime here, but he definitely is a guy that's capable of doing good things. And that, to me, you can't take that lightly. What I thought the most interesting thing I heard on this subject, though, was from Xavier McKinney, who took the opposite approach. Like, we were all kind of asking him, hey, how much of an advantage is it that you've seen him already? You kind of know what he's about. And Xavier turned it around and said, yeah, but more importantly, he's seen all the stuff that we did a couple of weeks ago, and we try to disguise, and we've got all these different aspects of our defense that now he's seen up close, and he's going to have a better group to work with than he did the first time he saw us doing that. And I thought that was a really smart kind of juxtaposition because I had not thought in those terms.
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of the way I thought about it too with his weaponry. Did when you guys were talking with Bisaccia, did he mention that with the field goal unit that he thought they had that figured out throughout the week?
Yeah, they've changed some personnel in some different spots. I think they're again, that's a thankless job. It's a difficult job. You don't have to block like when Rodgers used to extend the play on you and you used to have to pass protect like 8 seconds. This thing lasts like 2 seconds. But if you screw it up, you cost yourself points. And they obviously have done that now twice in games. Both times.
Uh-oh.
Yep. I think we're in a gym. I think we're in a volleyball. I think we're in a gym and we lost reception.
Yeah, but the Pebble's working on that.
Yep.
I don't really know what to think. He has great wide receivers, but he's an old man, and if he has a big game against the Pack, then that's bad. That's bad for the defense. Another indication the defense isn't what everybody thought. An old man who can't move, you should be able to do something with him, with Parsons and the rest of that defense. Isn't it that simple?
Yeah, I mean, yes. Okay, I agree.
Jason's back, by the way. I'm back to the cot. Bye.
He's not as old of a man as you are. He can still do some things. But to what you guys were discussing while I was getting ready to come on, and then before I started glitching out on you, this is a game where you should feel like you should be able to throttle them and win handily. The problem is you found a way to lose a game you had no business losing to Cleveland, and then your defense. I mean, we talked to Halfley today for 15 minutes, and, I mean, let's be honest. Those guys all thought that they were the next 85 Bears the way they were playing, and the 85 Bears had one bad game, and maybe the Packers will be the same way, but they were feeling really good about themselves, and then they allowed the Cowboys to put 40 points on, or 38 if you don't count the blocked extra point. So Halfley felt like they really had a really bad half, and then obviously they gave up 14 points in the last minute of the first half. But his biggest issue was that they did not respond in any way to the adversity they had in the second half. And I thought that was really interesting, Brian, because I think it's because as a group, they hadn't faced any adversity, right? They were dominant in those first 3 games. I don't think any of those teams scored a touchdown until the fourth quarter in those first 3 games. So, the
games were over. Yeah.
Right. And so, I'm always thinking about in terms of lessons learned, and these guys aren't, Declan's soccer team or Sydney's volleyball team, but they're still guys that need to learn lessons. And I think and I was talking to Evan Williams about this, like, he was just like, it was like we forgot how to play, and we were so rattled by the fact that we were playing like, I won't use the word he used and get an FCC violation, but we were so rattled that we were playing that way, like we forgot how to play. And, that's probably a good lesson for them to have experienced.
What?
Yeah.
What? They're
like
trying
they
to
just
sell that garbage? We forgot how to play? What is this, kindergarten?
No. He didn't say they forgot how to play. It seemed like they forgot how to play. They played like they forgot how to play because they were so rattled by how poorly they were playing. And you can't, like, you expect guys to be able to handle adversity, and they could not have failed more spectacularly to do so.
They couldn't right the ship.
Then there's reason to worry about this group.
Well, I think what it is now is that they've experienced that, right? I mean, I think that's the best case for us. They've experienced it. They understand what it looks like now, and now they should know how to react to it, right? I mean, that's what you can hope. I guess that's what you look at that's what you can hope going forward. Because
did you ever have a game? Brian? Did you ever have a game where your offensive line, because you're all individuals, but you work as a unit, where it just felt like the entire group, you guys couldn't block your moms, and they were getting pressure constantly, and as good as you are and as out of character as that was, you couldn't stop the bleeding. I mean, I think that does happen in the NFL, and even guys that are at that level get rattled, and they just don't bounce back. They're still human beings, and they just keep compounding their mistakes with more mistakes, or as Hafley was talking about with us today, by pressing and then making matters even worse.
Then you're not that good. Come on.
No, it's happened. I mean, it's happened. It happens to everybody. I mean, you just look at bad games, right? I mean, it's a snowball effect. It happens to everybody. I mean, it's happened to every player in the NFL, every group in the NFL. I mean, you look at.
Okay, how bad does it have to be where you go, this is worse than normal?
I mean, we could look at any unit led by a Hall of Fame player in the NFL, and they've played like junk.
I understand that. I agree with that. Now, when do you say, well, that happens to everybody, this was too bad. This was worse than what is normally just what you two have talked about?
I mean, I think we'd have to go by game basis then. Right. We'd have to
But it is possible that it's more than just, well, this happens. It could be you're not that good. Somebody was horrible.
Do you really think they're not that good? Like, do you really believe that when you?
No, I believe they're still that good. This is all just a bunch of garbage. They got to talk. We had a bad game. They're good. Next. Instead of they lost themselves. What is that? What
I mean, to me, it's just you played a bad game. You didn't respond the way you needed to respond.
Who was your guy Campen? Did Campen ever say, guys, we just kind of lost ourselves? No, he said, you blank, and don't let it happen again, or you're going to have, or whatever he says. Did he ever say that you lost yourself in all the years you played for him?
Right, but I'm sure there were times when, but even James Campen searched for answers as to why you played poorly and why didn't you right the ship. Brian Bulaga and David Bakhtiari and Sitton and Lang, all those guys are Pro Bowl caliber players, and yet they still had games where they sucked, all of them.
Yeah.
Right? And so why didn't they fix it? Right? Well, they just they're trying to explain why they had a bad game, and I think part of it is the human condition of not doing a good enough job of taking a beat, taking a deep breath, hitting the reset button, and instead you let negative thoughts come in of, God, I just can't block this guy.
Or maybe the coordinator had a bad game and didn't make any adjustments.
Look, that's part of it too, and he said that. Like, we haven't talked about it, but he said that too. And my question to him was, are you looking down from upstairs going, my God, who is this team? This isn't who we are. And he said, no, I'm too busy trying to figure out an answer, and I wasn't finding the answers. So, yeah, it falls on him too. There's no doubt about that.
Yeah. Is there is Wyatt out this week? Do you know that?
Yeah, I tried to. There aren't many guys at this point in my career that tell me to buzz off when I try to talk to him, but he definitely did that today. he's not playing.
Okay.
He did not practice yesterday. He did not practice today. When LaFleur puts you in the week-to-week category, that means this week you're not playing. Now, They may put him out there for some individual drills maybe tomorrow, but I think that's unlikely. I think he's out for a while, and Hafley kind of let the cat out of the bag on that too. He said, Nazir Stackhouse is going to have to have a bigger role for us. Well, and Warren Brinson, who I'm not even sure has been active yet this season. So when he says those guys are going to have bigger roles, that would indicate that Devontae Wyatt will have no role.
Yep. That's what that means. At least that's what I think that means.
Maybe we're learning how important he is.
He's definitely important. Hafley said today that he has not been good this season. He has been great this season. Now, again, I'm not a defensive line aficionado, so I defer to Brian. But if that's what you see, and if that's what Jeff Hafley sees, then losing him is more significant than I'm giving it credit for.
And with having already lost
Kenny Clark playing for the Cowboys, right?
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yep, I would agree. He has been great.
All right.
Thanks, Jason.
All right, volleyball time. All right, guys, take care. Be good.
Jason, I can't handle some of these explanations. I'm sorry. You lost themselves? Come on.
Yeah, I maybe a little different explanation than we just lost. Like we lost ourselves, or we couldn't. Like we didn't. Yeah, just I understand what he's trying to get at, but that's not the explanation. That's not the right explanation.
Guy, I'll be the answer. I'll be the defensive coordinator. Not that I can do the job. Some guys just didn't play up to their normal level. Who are they? I'm not telling you. It's none of your damn business. And we didn't adjust, or Dallas did things that surprised us. Yeah, everybody messed up. I tried to change. It didn't work. And players didn't play well. And somebody was hurt or whatever.
Yeah.
We just didn't care enough about each other. Go away.
We didn't care enough about each other.
We got too selfish. We didn't think. We thought of I before team. Go away. Now the issue is, and we'll break about if you think the defense isn't as good. I still think it's very good. It may not be as good as it was the first two games. I thought a huge part of it was my guy Cooper was horrible. So if he's missing tackles or making bad plays that he normally makes, now he doesn't have to say that. I might not expect that to him, but no, there's certain people that make plays. If they don't make plays, and I don't. Again, the biggest reason for the optimism I have is I know Parsons is going to do more. And if they aren't any better than they were in that game, but Parsons just becomes more Parsons, which is going to happen, that's going to make them significantly better by itself, right?
I agree.
Right.
Oh, yeah. 100%.
All right, we got to take a break. Pebble, we should have a rule. Whenever Bulaga says, I agree, we automatically go to a break. Because I want that to be the last thought people have. He just agreed with Homer? Next.
More of the Homer Hour coming up next on ESPN Wisconsin and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
We got delays, pretty hefty ones, too, on southbound 43. First of all, we had an earlier accident right about at Hampton Avenue. It is off on the right shoulder, so you're able to get past it without too much of a problem. The issue is the delays kick in right after that, right about at Capitol Drive. So you're going to see delays all the way down through the Marquette, down to the KK River crossing. On the northbound side, backing up from National Avenue, all the way up to about Locust. Off the freeway, we do have another crash. This is on Highway 100 northbound at just about at Capitol Drive. The right lane on northbound Highway 100 is blocked, so you do want to be extra careful heading through that area as well. Traffic is brought to you by Fisco Auto Body. Call Fisco Auto Body to help with all body repair needs. Fisco, Fisco, Fisco. And checking the TMJ4 Storm Team forecast tonight, partly cloudy skies, a low of 50. Tomorrow, a slight chance for morning showers, partly cloudy with a high of 66. Weather's brought to you by Tsunami Express Car Wash. Today's forecast, crisp fall skies and a championship shine. Get your first wash free at TsunamiExpress.com. Game day ready, rain or shine, Tsunami Express Car Wash. Wash, chill, repeat. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazaga on 94.5 ESPN.
This year, it just feels different.
Swing and a miss. He struck him out.
Keep it to WTMJ as the Brewers fight their way to a pennant throughout the run of the playoffs. Brewers playoff coverage is presented by the Narrow Spine Center of Wisconsin and by Annex Wealth Management, Boucher Automotive, and Delta Dental. We are the home of the Brewers. WTMJ.
Sundays are for football and carbless. Born in Wisconsin, carbless handcrafted premium cocktails are packed with flavor, not sugar. 0 carbs, 0 sugar, just 100 calories, and gluten-free. Whether you're tailgating in Green Bay or calling the plays from your couch, carbless is the cocktail that's always game day ready. Crisp, clean, and crafted to win. This season, drink like a champion. Drink carbless, a proud partner of the Green Bay Packers.
Time out on the field. Let's bring in Gina Della from Pella. What's the winning game plan this month?
Wayne, a whole house of new windows for as low as $297 a month with 0% interest for up to 60 months.
Wow, that's a drive you can sustain for years. No penalties, no extra interest.
And unlike opponents, Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin actually stops the drafts.
Don't sit on the sidelines, folks. Make your move today at PellaWI.com.
0 restrictions apply. It's 10/31/2025.
I've been to my fair share of green and gold games, and the best way to get there is with AccuTrans Group. At Good Karma Brands and ESPN Milwaukee, we use AccuTrans Group to get our partners to and from Green Bay, and it's always first class. From stadiums to concerts and tailgates, your game day fun starts the moment you step on board. Sit back, relax, and let their professional chauffeurs handle the traffic while you enjoy the ride. AccuTrans Group is Milwaukee's premier ground transportation, available 24/7 with sedans, SUVs, limos, vans, and buses. Book today at AccuTransGroup.com.
I'm with James Imaging Systems client Preston Clark. He oversees IT services at Creative Business Interiors. Preston, you get the benefit of one-on-one relationships with the James team, like when your sales rep said something unexpected. What did they say?
Hey, this is a little high. You're not printing as much as we thought you were going to print.
Then the James team member had even better news.
Correct. Let's bring that down. Let's make it a little cheaper and still keep you on the same program.
The James Managed Print Services Program. All your document output devices bundled under one invoice that includes service and supplies for one low cost per print. Nice, right, Preston?
Yes, felt great. Felt secure, Don't have to worry about, again, somebody just coming in and selling something and then walking away and never hearing from them again.
James Imaging Systems, AI-driven workflow automation, security enhancements, and digital transformation. Call 262-781-7700 or visit jamesimaging.com.
This is the Homer Hour on ESPN Wisconsin and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
They were great yesterday. We had a great time at Magoo's on Blue Mountain because of Surfside. It was kind of odd. They said, why are you here? Shouldn't Brian Bulaga be here? I said, sorry. I'm the best you got. He's busy. Brian Bulaga Enterprises, who knows what he's doing. But maybe the next time we have a Surfside event, Brian Bulaga will be there because I know one thing, Doctor. You know what?
What?
It was almost unanimous. They wanted you instead of me. So be it.
Yeah, I mean, I understand because, listen, I'm all about talking about my friends at Surfside, especially because football season is back. And we're bringing you your tailgate must-have. There's nothing more refreshing than a nice cold Surfside to enjoy while you cheer on your home team. Made with real vodka and real brewed tea, Surfside's only 100 calories, 2 grams of sugar, and 0 bubbles. That's right, no carbonation, so it's easy to sip and enjoy. And I know tonight, with the Brewers on, little Thursday night football, I'm going to be cracking into my favorite, the half tea, half lemonade, maybe even a peach tea, because I like that one
Excuse
too.
me, sir.
What's that?
Nobody going to be watching Thursday night football.
I'll be watching it.
You want to watch the University of New York Giants? Come on.
I like to watch Philly.
Beat them.
I like to watch Philly just to see how they're doing. They're
good point. Yeah,
they're a direct opponent of the pack, so I like to watch it.
Sorry to interrupt. Back to Surfside.
Yeah. No, that's all right. That's all right. But remember, it's not a seltzer. It's Surfside. As for at bars, restaurants, and stores near you, must be 21. Please drink responsibly.
I can hear it now. Homer interrupts so much, he even interrupts Bulaga while he's doing his Surfside commercial. That's guilty as charged. Window Nation, 90% customer satisfaction. That's huge. I can tell you how great they are, but it's even better if their customers have said that. And this is my favorite. They can install in one day depending on the size of the job. Yep. Homer says Window Nation, they can do it now. No, not now. Right now. October is here. You want something done with the old windows? You can get it done right now, Window Nation. And buy 2 windows, get 2 for free, plus pay nothing for 2 years. That, go to windownation.com before October 31st. And tell them you want it done, not now, right now. You're not doing it right if you don't go with Window Nation, windownation.com. Brian Bulaga. It's hard for me to worry about an injured place kicker. I don't know how much experience. And I see, he's going to kick. He's not going to miss it.
Yeah. I mean, you just worry about a quad injury. You just don't know how bad it is or how tight it is. That's the only thing. And then I guess my concern, right, is you get into the fourth quarter and, I'm hoping by that time that the game is in control.
If the difference in this game is a place kicker.
Yes, I get it. Yeah. But that's, I'm hoping that the game is in control at that point in time. So it doesn't come down to that, but you still want something to happen where he goes out there and, it's a 50-yard field goal and he puts a little extra oomph into it and something worse happens. You know what I mean? That's my only concern.
All right. If you're the head coach, I'm not going to push him like that. I don't know whatever he can normally kick, but I'm not sure I'd have him kick any more than 45, maybe 42. I don't know what the injuries of a place kicker, but I'm not going to put him in a position where – because the only concern I have is that the injury is longer term.
Yeah.
Right?
Yep.
Because he's good.
He's really good. Yeah, he's really good. I mean, he's very reliable, strong leg, very calm under pressure as a kicker. He's everything you want. So, yeah, I mean, I just don't you don't want to stress out a quad muscle for no reason, right? It's pointless. There's no point to do it.
And how long can he kick where it's like a layup in basketball, right?
Correct. Exactly.
Maybe it hurts every time you kick. I don't know. Then that would change things. But otherwise, yeah, I can go with you're not kicking any further than I don't have a extra field goal expert, but you're not kicking anything over 40 or over 35 or whatever,
Yeah, whatever it is that he can swing that leg and it doesn't feel like it's pulling, right? It doesn't feel like it's hurting him. That's it. That's where you're maxed out. That's where we know, right? That's what we know, and we're going for it on 4th down or whatever we need to do. That's what I would do. And if Goody's not comfortable with that or LaFleur's not comfortable, then you sign Joseph for the week and you let him kick. Okay, sounds good. Just move on. Just do that for the week and move on. That's what you have to do. That's what you have to do. That's okay. It really is.
Fat Jack's going to be on at the end of the special Thursday show because of the Thursday night football game that I basically said was kind of a joke. You're right. You corrected me. You can never, ever see too much of the Philadelphia Eagles as they are a team the Packers are going to have to deal with, possibly beat. And the more you know about them, the better in terms of assessing the Packers' chances to win the NFC. Thanks for setting me straight, Doc. By the way, I want to address it's how bad a game you ever had, or how bad a game the offensive line ever had. I'm not allowing you to oversell that as I couldn't block anybody that day. And we'll deal with that next.
The Homer Hour is back after this on ESPN Wisconsin and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
We got delays, pretty hefty ones, too, on southbound 43. First of all, we had an earlier accident right about at Hampton Avenue. It is off on the right shoulder, so you're able to get past it without too much of a problem. The issue is the delays kick in right after that, right about at Capitol Drive. So you're going to see delays all the way down through the Marquette, down to the KK River crossing. On the northbound side, backing up from National Avenue, all the way up to about Locust. Off the freeway, we do have another crash. This is on Highway 100 northbound at just about at Capitol Drive. The right lane on northbound Highway 100 is blocked, so you do want to be extra careful heading through that area as well. Traffic is brought to you by Fisco Auto Body. Call Fisco Auto Body to help with all body repair needs. Fisco, Fisco, Fisco. And checking the TMJ4 Storm Team forecast tonight, partly cloudy skies, a low of 50. Tomorrow, slight chance for morning showers, partly cloudy with a high of 66. Weather's brought to you by Tsunami Express Car Wash. Today's forecast, crisp fall skies and a championship shine. Get your first wash free at TsunamiExpress.com. Game day ready, rain or shine, Tsunami Express Car Wash. Wash, chill, repeat. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazaga on 94.5 ESPN.
Escape to Lake Lawn Resort in Delavan, Wisconsin, where everything is better at the lake. Dive into endless outdoor activities, including boating, fishing, and paddleboarding on the serene Delavan Lake. Tee off at the lakeside Majestic Oaks Golf Course, or unwind in the award-winning Calidora Spa. Enjoy gourmet meals at 1878 on the lake, casual bites at the Lookout Bar and Eatery, and sweet treats at the Isle of Capri Cafe. Explore Delavan Lake's stunning shores and historic landmarks from the comfort of their 76-foot cruise boat, the Lake Lawn Queen. Book your stay today at LakeLawnResort.com.
Football's back, and if you're headed up toward Green Bay, the perfect stop is Higher Love Cannabis Company, just seconds over the border in Menominee, Michigan. Less than an hour from Green Bay. An easy stop before or after the game or anytime you're passing through town. And with so many low-quality, unregulated CBD products floating around Wisconsin, trust matters. Higher Love, award-winning, organically grown, locally owned, and the real deal. Higher Love Cannabis Company, best in the Midwest. Visit findhigherlove.com/CBD.
The only thing that tops our selection is your savings discount liquor.
The teams are ready to go. The question is, are you ready? HD TVs in every room. Check. Blue and gold flag out front. Check. Grill ready to fire up. Check. Chips, dips, check, and check. Now the real planning begins. A trip to Discount Liquor to complete your Milwaukee baseball party or tailgate. Hi, this is Marie from Discount Liquor. Is beer on the menu? We'll set you up with your favorite or recommend something new. We have over 2,000 to choose from. What about liquor? Our variety is unmatched, as is our selection of wine. So if you want it, we've got it. Discount Liquor is your Milwaukee baseball playoff party headquarters. Discount Liquor has everything you need, all at the lowest prices in town. Come see us today at 51st in Oklahoma and Milwaukee, and on Barstow and Main in downtown Waukesha. Open daily 9 to 9 and Sundays 10 to 2.
Discount Liquor.
This is Eric Brown, owner of Siding Unlimited, letting you know that Siding Unlimited installs Pella windows and doors. That's right, Siding Unlimited installs windows, and we do it really well, earning the prestigious Pella Platinum Premier National Certified Contractor of the Year award 5 times. New windows, our expert team will deliver on a smooth, hassle-free installation, making you feel proud of calling Siding Unlimited for your window project. What's the next step? Call 262-567-4513 or go to sidingunlimited.com.
Life's better with Drive My Way from American Family Insurance, because we know it's more than just a car. It's your escape pod, your adventure mobile, your memory maker. And we help protect the dreams that drive you. Personalize what you pay for auto insurance and you could save between 5 and 20%. American Family Insurance. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Products not available in every state. Unsafe driving behaviors may increase your rate. Visit amfam.com to learn more. American Family Mutual Insurance Company, SI, and its operating company, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
You're listening to the Homer Hour on ESPN Wisconsin and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
If I got some great questions, it's the Brian Bulaga Homer Hour. But first, Fisco Auto Body on Forest Home in Franklin. Fisco Auto Body on Forest Home in Franklin. I tell you about them so you'll like them and then you'll like me. See, here's how it goes. You go to Fisco Auto Body and you can't believe how good they are. Well, I can tell you that's why they're that good. It's because it's a family business, owned since 1931, still run by the family. So it's not what they do, it's who they are. Can you imagine how young they were when they started doing this and how many years they've been doing it? That's why they're so good, and that's why everybody likes them. And then you thank them, and eventually you realize, hey, Homer told me about them. Let's thank him. Fisco Auto Body on Forest Home in Franklin. Expert workmanship guaranteed for the life of your vehicle. Fisco, Fisco, Fisco. So you remember the name. Brian Bulagi, you ready?
Yep.
And of course, since this is the Brian Bulaga Homer Hour, you can refuse to answer any question that you don't want to answer. You know what we call that?
What?
A wildy. Okay. The worst game you ever played for the Green Bay Packers.
That would be, what was that? What was that? Seattle in 20, what was the replacement refs? What was that, 2012?
No one's going to argue on the specifics. Why do you say that?
I mean, it was just the worst game I played. I think I gave up like 2 sacks that game. It was the replacement game, the Fail Mary game, if everyone remembers it. And as an offensive line, I think we gave up 8 sacks that game.
Because that maybe is the answer. The worst game, the offensive line of which you were a part, played for the Packers. You'd pick the same game, I would think, maybe.
Yeah, I mean, that I can remember. We didn't play, and I remember a game in 2019. We went out to LA, played the Chargers. That was LaFleur's first year. We played really bad there. I remember Steno, who's the OC now. Dave and I were on the bench. He had a couple choice words for us asked, and I'll say it in PG terms. Could he and I not block Ingram and Bosa, but it was in a little more vulgar terms. And he and I just kind of looked at Steno like, we're certainly giving it our best.
Right. You don't get it. That's what you looked and said to him, right? You just don't get it. You don't get it. Like, you can't say that if you get it, right?
Like we're certainly not trying to block him. Like that's not the case. We're certainly out there trying to block him.
See, now if I had been Steno, you know what I'd have said? Tell me why this is going on. Just why do you think it's going on? Not that I'm not questioning anything. I'm just curious what your answer is to that. What if he had said that? Why is this going on? Brian, did he call you Brian or Blue, or what did they call you?
At that time it was probably Brian or I don't know.
How would you have answered that? Because that's the question I would have said. You guys are good. What? How is this going on? Why is this going on?
Yeah, it's, at that point for that game, the answer would have been, we probably could have given probably a handful of reasons.
Okay.
In that instance, that game, I mean, obviously those 2 pass rushers are really good. It was Joey and Melvin Ingram. So really tough guys to go against, and we threw the ball a bunch, and we put ourselves in bad situations. Long down and distances. We didn't run the ball well, and but like that's no excuse. You should be able to pass block guys. I mean, we had pass blocked really well. I mean, we had gone against kind of a murderer's row of pass
if
rushers.
I was going to play, and I asked that because if we played him again, I'd want to know. So do we have to change what we're doing? Do we have to chip, or I don't know what your different options are, or we can't get in 3rd and 12 20 times in the game, or I don't know.
That would certainly be my first advice. Would be like, hey, like we can't. It would, and what we did later on in that game was really good. We moved the pocket a little bit. We did a lot of.
Oh wait, hold on. We can't go any further because we got to get to Fat Jack. So I'm interrupting you, not for as bad as it was into your commercial. That's historic. And we have 30 seconds for you to answer the most irritated you ever saw James Campen, and why, if you want to give us any particulars.
Oh man, the most irritated I've ever seen him. All right,
I'll give you time. Well, next time we talk, you can give us an answer.
Yeah,
because I'm sure he could get irritated, right?
Oh yeah. He got upset. He got upset.
Fat Jack. Oh, by the way, We have 7 seconds. Here's Peralta's Game 4 easy decision. Murphy probably asked at a meeting, what gives us the best chance to win this game? The answer from others, Peralta as a starter. Murphy said, done, meeting is over. Go get a meal or listen to Homer's show at ESPN Wisconsin app. Don't you think Murph would say that? Like, what gives us the best chance to win this game? I don't want to hear about any other game but this game. Peralta. He's starting. Talk to you later. Do you think I'm making that up, or does that make sense to you at all?
Makes sense to me.
Yeah.
Makes sense to me.
That's the end. He agrees or makes sense to me. I'll even take makes sense to me. I don't even need agreement. Brian Bulaga. Next, Fat Jack.
More of the Homer Hour coming up next on ESPN Wisconsin and the ESPN Wisconsin app. Catholic Memorial Football lives here.
To the outside, he's gonna sneak it in the end zone!
This Friday, the Crusaders are on the road against Wauwatosa East.
For the third time tonight, DWJ!
Crusaders football is brought to you by R&R Insurance, D&M Accounting and Consulting Services, Curative Care, Home Sealed Exteriors, and Tony Wendorf and Associates. Tune in Friday at 7 on 94.5 ESPN and live video at ESPN Milwaukee on YouTube.
Wisconsin sports fans, Brian Bulaga here for my friends at Surfside. Football season is back, and we're bringing you your tailgate must-have. There's nothing more refreshing than an ice-cold Surfside to enjoy while you cheer on your home team. Made with real vodka and real brewed tea, Surfside is only 100 calories, 2 grams of sugar, and 0 bubbles. That's right, no carbonation, so it's easy to sip and enjoy. It's not a seltzer, it's Surfside. Ask for it at bars, restaurants, and stores near you. Must be 21. Please drink responsibly.
Homer here with a message about Three Pillars Senior Living Communities, located on a serene setting along the Bark River on 300 gorgeous acres. Three Pillars Senior Living Communities is a top-ranked full continuum community. Active adult, independent living, assisted living, memory care, skilled nursing, and rehab. Three Pillars, the hands-down choice for you or your loved one. Been there. Know people who live there. They love it. You got to go to Dousman and see it in person. Get all the info on Three Pillars at threepillars.org.
Fans, don't let dirt and road grime bench your car this October baseball season. Step up to the plate with Tsunami Express Car Wash, where every visit delivers the MVP shine. With unlimited washes, fast lane access, and free vacuums, you can keep your ride looking like a champion all season long for less than $1 a day. And with 7 Milwaukee area locations, including New Berlin, it's easy to score big no matter where you're headed. Join the winning team today at TsunamiExpress.com. That's Tsunami Express Car Wash. Wash, chill, repeat.
I'd like you to listen to a little question and answer session with James Imaging Systems client Preston Clark. He oversees IT services at Creative Business Interiors. Preston, why James?
I do feel like that we are partnered, again, as opposed to being sold to.
James Imaging Systems, your local business technology partner.
If I need service, they're here almost within 4 hours every time. I've never had an issue where I'm like, where is that guy?
That works for you and the business, right, Preston?
Yeah, exactly. I don't have to worry about it.
Plus, there's IT-driven workflow automation, security enhancements, and digital transformation from James Imaging Systems.
I've got information that I can then go to my superiors with and say, hey, here's how we can save a little bit of money.
And
then I kind of look like the hero, too.
Want to be the hero in your office? Call 262-781-7700 or visit jamesimaging.com. James Imaging Systems, your local business technology partner.
In football, what does every great team start with?
A strong defense. Same's true in business.
Defense against what?
Cyber threats. That's why companies use Trend Micro.
What do they actually protect?
Your network, your data, your people, from ransomware, phishing, and more.
So it's not just antivirus?
Not at all. Trend Micro has a full defensive playbook trusted worldwide for over 35 years.
Sounds like the kind of defense every business needs.
Exactly. Don't get blindsided. Go to trendmicro.com and see how enterprise security is done right.
When the leaves start to fall and your roof starts to call, fix it in the fall, fix it in the fall. If your shingle's looking rough and your gutter's full of stuff, get it fixed before it's froze, man. It's time to call the pro. We patch it, we match it, we stop that drip, free estimates, quick fix. Don't let your roof slip, your home's your castle. We keep it tight, call Avondale Roofing, they roof it right. Fall deals dropping it like it's hot, call Avondale Roofing at 855-819-7663.
Welcome back to the Homer Hour on ESPN Wisconsin and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
Jack appearance because it's the NFL version, because I have no clue about any teams. Indianapolis, Jacksonville, who's good, who's not good, and that means I got to bring on Fat Jack. You go to fatjacksports.com. You need him more than ever, and you've always needed him. Jack, good evening.
Yeah, good evening, Homer. Last week was mayhem. I mean, you had teams, Tennessee down 18 and came back and won. Carolina down 17 and came back and won. Denver down 14, came back and won. New Orleans down 11 and won. When Washington down 10, and they won. So a lot, almost like horse races, right? I mean, you had front running was not a good thing last week in the NFL, and that's going to happen sometimes. We always talk about overreacting to one game or 1 week. It's harder for the general public to not do that this time of year because they probably have not been making as much over the last 5, 6, 7 weeks as they had hoped to. And so they overreact and things go crazy. This is why a lot of people aren't gambling by the time we get to Thanksgiving. Where my clients and I, it doesn't matter. One game, 1 weekend, 1 day, it makes no difference because consistently building profit over the long run, if you have a bad day, all you're doing is giving back a little bit of money. So great time to get signed up, not too late. Players' props are up 25 games over the last 2 weeks combined. Just 15 last week, 10 the week before. Really, really nice run on those players' props. And those go out for free.
I don't know. Does it matter? Who's good? Like tonight, you have the Eagles. The Giants stink, but I'm not sure you've taught me the points. I'm not sure I'd give 7 points against the Eagles against anybody. Well, what? Talk to me.
Yeah, this is a tough one, Homer, honestly. I mean, sometimes identifying tough games is how you make money. And there's no way around it. This is a tough game. And the reason is you have Philadelphia is the bottom 3 offense in the entire league. So you're trying to cover 7 points with a bottom 3 offense. I mean, that is tough. But you're playing a team that's not really very good on either side of the ball. Also, road favorites of 7 or more. We talked about this. It didn't hit this last week with Cincinnati, but before that, their road favorites of 7 points or more in the first 9 weeks of the season are 20 wins, 2 losses, and 2 pushes against the spread over the last 3 years. So home dogs of this many points almost always get there. And so this is a tough one because you have Philadelphia, really reeling from last week's loss. They can explode at any time. They get it going offensively even a little bit. They should be able to cover this number, but it's hard to guarantee that in a team that's not very good offensively up to this point in the season. We always talk about recency bias. What can we take away from what we just saw? Well, don't just do it on the positive end. Do it on the negative end, too. What you've seen is a Philadelphia offense that looks lost, not getting the ball to Barkley, not getting the ball to A.J. Brown. This is a team, Jalen Hurts is averaging about 160 yards a game in passing. But the Giants are not good. They don't cover ever. The Giants are, I mean, they just don't. They're not a good team versus the number. And so I would have a lot of trouble. And they're under. 5 of the last 6 games are under the total. So this is not a good game to play. If you made me play it, I'll lean toward the under, thinking that the Philadelphia offense will continue to do what it's doing, and the Giants are going to have trouble moving the ball. So better play on the under.
I was sure to mortgage the house on the Packers against Cincinnati. I didn't care how many points. But now with Flacco at quarterback, even though he's 100 years old, maybe he could hit their wide receivers. That's a lot of points. Take it away, Fat Jack.
Yeah, and 14. I mean, that's the thing. You're getting up 2 touchdowns with a quarterback you don't know anything about. Cincinnati worst in the league against the spread. They're 1-5 this year. And another one of those that, the comfortable spot is to go play Green Bay. But historically, that's not where you should be. You're looking for value. So I would say steer clear of that game. There's better spots. You have teams coming off of big wins that then have to travel. That's a better spot. So just because you're a Packer fan doesn't mean that the Packers are always going to give you the best opportunity to make money. They are 5-1 against the spread their last 6 at home. But look at a team like Tampa Bay. San Francisco coming off a huge win at the Rams. Now they have to go on the road all the way across the country, play a Tampa Bay team that's offense is clicking right now. San Francisco 4-10 against the spread their last 14 games. They don't cover much.
Go to fatjacksports.com. All right. Now, maybe it's just one game, but I think Penn State and UCLA could play 100 times, and Penn State wins 99. I would have given 40 points. UCLA was horrific, fired their coach, and yet UCLA won. Just one game and move on, Homer? Or Fat Jack, you're the first guy I thought of as I'm watching the end of that game.
They need Penn State needs medication. And I think, frankly, anybody that's betting on Penn State right now needs medication. Who knows what that team's going to be? I mean, that's a horrible loss. They go on the road and are just flat. UCLA's not good. They are not a good football team. They're not getting a lot better. They just showed up and executed a little bit against a Penn State team that was sleepwalking. Who are Penn State's best wins, Homer? Villanova, Florida International, and Nevada. That's who they beat. So we don't know how good they are. We know they were competitive against Oregon, but we haven't seen them beat anybody at all. So absolutely not. If you want a team that's playing well and you think you know what you're going to get, look down at Lubbock, Texas. All right, Texas Tech. This is a 5-0 team against the spread. They're playing great. They have a $30 million roster. The pay-to-play is, in effect, going on in West Texas. They're 5-0 against the spread. They play great defense. They score a bunch of points. They win on the road. They win at home. It doesn't matter. So lay the big number. Kansas is very one-dimensional, very good offensively, not very good defensively. They need to run it with their quarterback to play well. Texas Tech has very good linebackers. Also, a couple of games in the in college football to keep your eye on. I think at least one, maybe two of these three teams lose. Alabama, Georgia, and Oklahoma. Of those three, I think probably two of those
Missouri
lose.
Could beat Alabama? Wow. Okay.
Why is that number only 3, Homer? I'm looking at lines. All right, Okay. I'm not telling you to bet them. I'm just telling you why there's only 3. Alabama 4-1 against the spread. Looks like they're clicking. They're a 3-point favorite. That number's not moving. Missouri 8-2 against the spread their last 10 games. They cover a bunch of numbers. They are at home, and Vegas thinks Missouri wins. Again, it doesn't mean you walk up and play Alabama. It just means you either play Missouri or you don't play it. It's a tough spot, and Vegas knows it. Also with Georgia at Auburn, same exact situation. You're getting a team that on the front of the jersey in a way that the year's gone, looks like that would be a layup. They're also a 3.5-point favorite. Just part of this segment, Homer, is keeping people out of bad spots so they can not lose as much, to then go to FatJackSports.com and get signed up to make money. And I'm telling you, those are circle the games, watch them. Do not play Georgia. Do not play Alabama. Do not play Oklahoma. I think 2 of those 3 lose.
All right, one last quick question. You mentioned Texas Tech. Isn't that the school that paid the female softball pitcher like $1 million? And
they did. They have.
All right, so yes, you explained it. So I don't know. Are there other schools that are spending the money? Clearly, they're way better than everybody thinks because they're Texas Tech, or is that just me?
They're clearly better than everybody thinks because the players playing for Texas Tech are not Texas Tech athletes. They would be at Alabama or Georgia or Michigan or Ohio State.
So I want to play them every week now.
I have. They're 5-0 against the spread. You can't every week because at some point the public's going to catch up.
Now, easier way to make money was Navy and Air Force in the over last week.
I gave you that.
I know. It was amazing. They could have put up 100 each side. Is there another one as sweet and easy as that one? I love easy.
So, I mean, you've got a couple of, but they're not as easy. But, yeah, you've got a couple of teams that nobody's going to want to watch, even if you could watch it. But Kent State and UMass, those 2 teams, horrible, down the bottom 10 in all of college football. But they're in that position because neither of them know how to play defense.
Oh, and baby, over. Go to